Hi, this is Brad Phillips, president of Phillips Media Relations and author of the Mr. Media Training blog. And today I'm going to talk about one of my favorite topics, the right way and the wrong way to apologize. Now, you will, if you're in business long enough, or if you represent a government agency or a nonprofit organization long enough, you will probably be accused of wrongdoing sometime along the way. Now, sometimes you'll be accused of things you truly didn't do and things that are just wildly inaccurate. And in those cases, the only thing to do is rebut the charges aggressively and make sure that the public and all of your other stakeholders know precisely why those accusations are wrong. But what I'm going to talk about today is slightly different than that. I'm talking about the perceptions that other people hold about you and perceptions of wrongdoing. And there are those times where you do something and you did it really with the right motives and you did it trying to do the right thing, but the public perceived that somewhere along the way you got it wrong. So there are things that typically happen in that type of circumstance that are predictable. Oftentimes the public will accuse you of wrongdoing. Your instinct, as the first thing you do, is to defend and say, no, you're all wrong. That's not what I meant. You got it wrong. My motives were pure. I shouldn't apologize because I did nothing wrong here. You're all getting it wrong. It is such a normal human instinct to want to rebut charges in that way, and yet when you are on the wrong end of a perception battle, that does little more than inflame your critics and make them want to come after you even harder. And what I see so many times is that the organization comes out with a statement like that, the incoming fire continues for days, and 4, 5, 6 days later they finally come out with a different statement that says, we hear you, we got it, we'll never do that again. So many times organizations are better served just coming out with that second statement first, on day one, on hour one, and that way they avoid all of the pain that their first statement, that was much more defensive, caused. You could eliminate days and days of heartache by just getting straight to the, we're sorry, we hear you, we won't let it happen again stage. So how do you do that? Practically, how do you do that? Well, the most important thing when you're in a perception battle with the public is to get an outside opinion and get it very fast. If you are all speaking to each other within the organization, there's going to be this very insular culture where you all understand that you were trying to do the right thing, and it's going to be very hard for you to even recognize what the public perception is. So get an outside voice. Get an outside voice from people who are willing to tell you harsh truths, that are willing to be blunt, not people who are kind of sycophants who will tell you everything that you want to hear. No yes men. But people who will truly tell you what you need to hear. That's how you gauge where you are in the perception battle. And if you're on the losing end of the perception war, oftentimes the best thing to do is admit it, get it done with quickly, and move on. Now, if you're watching this on the Mr. Media Training blog, below this video you will find some links of current case studies which show this dynamic at play. If you're watching on YouTube, please visit the comment section where I'll include some links of actual case studies. You can watch this dynamic play out. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Brad Phillips, author of the Mr. Media Training blog.